Hello, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will share with you my journey on how I become a licensed real estate agent in state of Missouri. I also will talk about how long did it take me to get my first listing deal, how long did it take me to get my first buyer's deal, and how I did it. In 2008, I wanted to become a licensed realtor. Due to English is my second language, I did not pursue that path. Fast forward 7 years later from that moment, now we're talking about in 2015, I was in the process applying BSN program. During that time, I don't know if I will get accepted or not. So my alternative option is to pursuing a real estate career. So I finally decide to make that major movement. That's towards me is a major decision. And I'm glad I made that decision. I gained a lot of confidence through that process. I found out that I not only I can achieve the goal, and plus that I passed the test with the first try, because I was worrying about it back then, 7 years ago. Then maybe this is the right time to pursuing this career. So this is how I started. Okay, now let's talk about after I got my license. How did I get my first deal? One day I decide get a carry out from a restaurant. Then I walked in, told the owner that I am who I am, what I do, and if they need help, please let me know. Got my food, left. A week later, got a phone call saying they want me to be their listing agent for their investment property. Good deal. I was so excited. I should. Then I spoke with my coach and let her know how exciting that was. I'm so happy, and I have a good kickstart, everything. So I got that lined up. My coach helped me with everything, listing input, tell me, some important information on the form, exclusive for right to sell for, agency agreement, and then all the process. Then I got that deal. Then luckily enough, 14 days later, I think I was under contract. It's a great thing. It's not a big property, it's a small property, but it's something, right? It's something much better than nothing. And then during that process, when I presented the offer to my seller client, what I should do is, if my seller client agreed to this, then we just send a paper. If not, if she or he has counter offer, I should have verbally communicated with the buying side agent, say, hey, talk to your client, maybe this is our counter offer back, something like that. Instead doing that, I was like, wrote out the counter offer without communicating with the buyer's agent. And then, it is okay, nothing wrong with that, but I did go over extra steps. That's what I'm trying to say. Nothing wrong. You can write that up totally. If I'd made a phone call to talk about this, then tell my seller, and then we can put this all one time on the paper. So save lots of time for the seller and me too. So that is, I won't do again like that. So that was my first deal. Pretty easy, simple. I just talk to people who I am, what I do, if they need help. Obviously, it won't work every time. But my point is, if I had never said it to that person at that time, I probably would not ever get that deal. I probably could get something else too. But at least I know that would not be my first listing. And I don't know when I will get first listing. So I'm just saying we needed to let people know what we do in our profession. Even you are a new agent, there's nothing wrong with it being a new agent. What we're selling is our knowledge, our customer service, our skills, yeah. And last thing is your character and your work ethic. So those are the things. Those things is some can change, some can't. Knowledge can change, skills can gain, but who you are cannot. I cannot say cannot be changed. It goes with you sometimes. So I suggest we always be honest, be truth to people. Yeah. So that is how I got my first listing. So what did I do? How I earned a summertime? How did I earn my first summer deal as a buyer's agent? That was a referrals and within our brokerage. Once I got the referrals, I didn't wait. For me, time is money. So I know how compatible this field could be. So I made a phone call to her. I talked to her. I got to know her. Prioritize the things I need to know, what she told me, and what I need to do first. Obviously, first thing I want to make sure she is not under agency agreement with anyone. If she is, that's not my deal anymore by law. So I cannot approach somebody that are already under agency agreement by law. So she said no, she's free, she's unrepresented. Then she was going to sign with a RE/MAX agent that talk to a RE/MAX agent in that afternoon if I did not call her. So that is how close I was. So what I'm saying is, if I did not call her, she'll probably be somebody else's client. It won't be me. So I called her. So after we had a conversation, I said, you know what? Before you make a decision, let me meet you first. So we have fair chance, to have you got to know me. You got to know, I got to know you. So she agreed. So I drove all the way from, the summit area to north of the river because she's over there. So I got there, talked to her. Of course, I prepared. I got my Missouri broker disclosure form, and I got a buyer's agency agreement. So I got 2 copies just in case I did something wrong. And then I present to her, talk to her about it, and the details for that agency agreement. And then she agreed. She wants to sign that. I was like, okay, let's do this. After that, we start negotiating, make an offer, and I believe that this at that time for this deal, even I was only 2 months in, but I was only 2 months in as an agent, but somehow I have the clear process how it should go. Like I know how to schedule right after contract. I need to send a contract to the title company, make sure that our earnings money is paid directly to the title. Then I deliver that and get receipt. And I also set up inspection ASAP. So I suggest she find somebody that which she can trust. It's nothing to do with me. And she said, do you know somebody? I said, I don't, but if you want me to, I can ask around, for real. And I just did, got that done. Inspection came back and we did something. I remember we didn't have unacceptable conditions, but anyway, so we got that done. So yeah, that's my second deal. And the only thing I would say in that deal during that time, the one thing I did not do perfect is, should say, she had some changes in her life. I'm not talking about like she's not going to buy anymore, nothing like that. But it's her job changed, so it delayed mortgage process, which I didn't know that, because she don't need to tell me. If she wants to tell me, she can, but she don't need to tell. She just need to tell the mortgage loan officer. But what I'm saying is, as an agent, I did not have a close communication with the mortgage loan officer. I know some people will say, the loan officer should contact you too, or the listing agent. You think they should, but I cannot say that, because I'm as agent. I think we gotta hold ourselves accountable too. Nobody owe you anything. If you don't get done, she doesn't get done, he doesn't get done, then deal won't get done. So I'm not saying you should, I should, who should, wherever should do their job, but sometimes it doesn't happen that way. But I tend to not blame on somebody else. So I'm not even blaming on myself. I'm just saying if I had to do over again, I would make sure I stay close contact with the mortgage loan officer so I know what's happening with her loan. That's something I want to share with you. So that's my second deal, 2 months in, 2.5. So I worked for maybe less than 10 hours, and my pay is equals to or more than my classmates worked at their job for the entire whole month. So that is, I tasted how sweet that is. If I work a little bit harder or efficient, I would have more results. So yeah, fast forward, then I started hosting open houses. I can tell you the mistake I made in the open house. Should I say, not I made, should I say maybe that I should be clarified that my role and my goal to the potential buyers or sellers come to the open house. So I was lucky enough to host a brand new construction, finished properties in Independence, Missouri. There were a couple walked in. They're really excited with the home. Wife wants to make an offer right away. So we made an appointment for next day, Monday, after working hours because they both need to work. So by the time they should have showed up, they didn't. I know, probably killed it. Very respectful. He texted me, tell me they're not coming. Some people just don't even text, don't even show up. So he said his wife made a emotional decision yesterday at the open house, and they should think about their friend got told them maybe the agent wants to sell them that property, they should look at more properties. Say exactly. I presented as the way that I am, my goal is to sell that home. Actually, when you host an open house for somebody else, for other listing agent, your goal, yes, is help them find a potential buyer, but your goal is finding your own leads, whether it's a buyer or seller. So if I just say, hey, if you don't like this property, I can show you another property because I'm not representing the seller. I'm just here to host an open house. Hopefully I can find some client. You don't have to hide that. Listing agent, is not here. I'm the one hosting open house. So, but I knew that was my first time. I did not convey my message clearly. So that's one of the things I want to mention. If you are a new agent, make sure you let people know. If that is not your listing, or even it is your listing, you can still help them to find the properties they like if they are not under agency agreement. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I said my channel is all about sharing my story, my journey, and hopefully my videos can encourage you and can be inspire you and motivate you to reach your goal. Thank you, and hopefully you enjoy your 4th of July weekend. Be safe, have fun. See you in next video. Real Talk with Lynn.